44 years ago. Do you remember when this song stole your heart? Or when you couldn't stop singing this one? 44 years ago, the world seemed to pause every time one of these songs hit the radio. It was a time when music hit you right in the chest, bringing us together like we were all part of the same tune. Today, we're taking a trip back to that lost moment in time, when stages were lit with dreams and hits that could shape an entire generation. 13. Celebration by Kool and the Gang. We kick off with a song that was a must at any good party. The more we heard it, the deeper that infectious rhythm sank into our hearts. It was 1981 when Kool and the Gang dropped Celebration, a tribute to being alive.
A celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your...
You'd hear it at birthdays, weddings, school dances, even sports events. The band had been experimenting with funk in the 70s, but with this track, they struck the perfect balance between danceable and universal. The moment those opening chords hit, the dance floor filled up, no one stayed seated. It was like the melody flipped a switch inside us. Kool and the Gang gave us an invitation to celebrate. No matter what struggles or problems we faced, everything felt perfect when we danced to this tune. Fun fact, the song's idea came from a thank you phrase one band member kept saying after concerts. That small gesture turned into a track that spanned decades. 44 years later, it's still the soundtrack to any good time. Before we go on, we'd love to get to know you better. Where are you tuning in from? Drop it in the comments. Let's keep going. 12. Super Freak by Rick James. That same magical year, Rick James decided to unleash one of the boldest, most infectious tracks ever, Super Freak. In an era where funk was blending with disco's energy, this song was a bridge between sensual and fun. Rick James, with his provocative style, didn't just write a catchy tune, he crafted a classic that pushed boundaries.
That girl is pretty kinky.
What's wild is that despite its daring lyrics, the song was embraced on dance floors worldwide. That irresistible bass line and rhythm had us hypnotized. Many of you probably remember the video with Rick James and his band decked out in sparkles, flashy vests, and over-the-top moves so iconic of the era.
She's super freaking, yow.
What few knew back then is that Super Freak would become one of the most covered and sampled songs in history. Decades later, MC Hammer used it to create You Can't Touch This, a 90s hit that brought that rebellious spirit to new generations. Give us a like if you love that tidbit. 11. Endless Love by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie. If Celebration was the spark of the party and Super Freak was pure audacity, Endless Love was the romantic refuge of the summer. This ballad, sung by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, wasn't just a love song, it became a cultural phenomenon.
They tell me how much you care.
It came from the movie of the same name, a teen drama that captured thousands of hearts. But the real star was the chemistry between Ross and Richie, obvious in every note. It was like two voices destined to meet, joining in the studio to bring an eternal romance to life. The song didn't just top the charts, it stayed there for weeks. A rare feat even for the time. It was one of the year's best-selling singles, and remains one of the most heartfelt duets in music history. What's striking is that this collaboration was a turning point for Lionel Richie's career. Though both artists went their own ways, that recording remains an unforgettable snapshot of a golden era. 10. Kiss on My List by Daryl Hall and John Oates. Amid all those party anthems and romantic ballads, there was a track that blended lightness, freshness, and sophistication. Kiss on My List by Daryl Hall and John Oates. This duo, already racking up hits in the 70s, found a formula with this song that launched them to massive fame in the 80s. The track had a playful vibe with lyrics about a kiss being at the top of a list of desires. It might sound simple, but Hall & Oates gave it a unique charm. Its modern sound for the time, with touches of soul and funk stuck in your head for days. The truth few know is that Hall & Oates had fought for years to carve out their own space in the music industry. And this single opened the doors to a decade they'd dominate with hit after hit. Kiss on My List came when music was exploring new paths, and the duo delivered a style that was danceable, light, and relatable. 9. Bette Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes. That sound is pure 80s gold. Kim Carnes' raspy voice and mysterious vibe turned Bette Davis Eyes into a true 80s phenomenon, topping the Billboard charts as the year's best-selling song, no small feat. Believe it or not, this hit was written years earlier, but Kim Carnes gave it the perfect atmosphere. Her performance was sweet yet warm, like she was whispering each word with a knowing wink. The song's title came from the legendary actress Bette Davis, whose eyes were a symbol of magnetism and charm. The actress, retired from film, was so touched by the tribute that she sent thank you letters to Kim Carnes and the songwriters. Listening to Bette Davis Eyes was like stepping into a world of mystery, where seduction and melancholy met. It's a snapshot of a time when music started sounding different, opening doors to a new decade. What's your favorite song from this year? Drop it in the comments. 8. Rapture by Blondie. Blondie is one of those bands you can't hear without time traveling to the 80s, and among their hits, Rapture stood out a mix of pop, disco, and a touch of rap. Led by the ever-iconic Debbie Harry. In 1981, that was totally new for most listeners. By then, Blondie had made a name for themselves on the radio with a string of hits, but Rapture took things to another level. Rap was still taking its first steps in places like the Bronx, and suddenly, it was on radios worldwide thanks to this song. It was an unexpected bridge between cultures, turning what many saw as niche into mainstream. The Rapture video was historic too. It was the first rap video aired on MTV. With surreal images and quirky characters, it perfectly captured Blondie's blend of styles. It's thrilling to think how something so bold became such a hit. Seven. Physical by Olivia Newton-John. Of all the songs that year, maybe none caused as much buzz as Physical by Olivia Newton-John. The artist, who'd already won hearts with her role in Grease, took a daring turn with this track, raising eyebrows left and right. With suggestive lyrics and an irresistible beat, Physical stormed radios and TVs worldwide. Some thought it was too bold, so much so that it got banned from more conservative stations, but that controversy only made it bigger. The video, set in a gym with fun choreography, became an icon of MTV's early days. Workout fashion, headbands, and bright colors started trending thanks to Olivia's vibe. But beneath the playful surface was a message of change. The 80s were becoming a decade where topics once taboo were discussed more openly. Listening to Physical was catching a wave of energy, movement, and a modern joy that seemed to push society forward. 6. Morning Train 9 to 5 by Sheena Easton. No one expected a light, catchy song that echoed older times to sneak onto the charts alongside bold new sounds, but it did. Sheena Easton was the face behind the miracle of Morning Train 9 to 5, a song about a woman waiting for her partner to come home from work, delivered with an upbeat tone that made it a crowd favorite. Sheena was still a rising star then, and this track launched her straight to stardom. Her clear, youthful voice stood out against the era's more intense styles, giving it a special charm. It's no surprise it hit number 1, cementing her international career. A quirky detail. In the US, the song was retitled Morning Train because another hit, 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton, was already out. Still, the melody kept its freshness and won over American audiences. 5. Keep on Loving You by REO Speedwagon. For those of us who loved pure rock from the last decade, this song felt closer to home. The moment Keep On Loving You by REO Speedwagon hit, it became an unexpected anthem. A soft rock ballad, it carried the best of old school rock, but with an intimate tone that went straight to the heart. It wasn't by chance the band was known for road-ready rock with heavy guitars, but this song was a shift. Kevin Cronin, the lead singer, wrote it inspired by a personal experience of heartbreak and tested loyalty, and that honesty bled into every note. That's probably why it hit so hard, it spoke to real feelings. What's exciting is that this song gave REO Speedwagon the massive recognition they'd never had before. They went from being just another road band to topping the charts. In Latin America, where radio was the heart of music life, this track was huge. 4. Queen of Hearts by Juice Newton. Few songs capture the freshness of the 80s like this one. A track blending pop spirit with a country twist, but light and danceable. In an era where disco still echoed, this song brought a different, more down-home yet universal vibe. Queen of Hearts by Juice Newton was everywhere, with a guitar that had a sprightly, playful step. Juice wasn't a household name yet, but this single earned her a special place. Queen of Hearts was upbeat, straightforward, and had the power to lift your mood just by hearing it. A little-known fact: the song had been covered by others before, but Newton's version captured the world. From Europe to America, her voice was a breath of fresh air. It was easy to hum, easy to remember. Three, Guilty by Barbra Streisand and Barry Gibb. When it comes to unforgettable duets, we have to mention the 1x2 music giants, Barbra Streisand and Barry Gibb, who joined voices for Guilty. The song was a perfect blend of Streisand's elegance and Gibb's warm pop disco touch from his Bee Gees work, creating a track that hooked us from the first second. The full album, also called Guilty, was an unexpected fusion of two worlds. Streisand, with her prestige in music and film, and Gibb, fresh off the Saturday Night Fever glow, made a record that won over critics and fans alike. For many couples, Guilty became a symbol of connection. There was something about how they sang, like they were sharing a secret, that made anyone feel part of that intimacy. This hit cemented Barry Gibb as a heavyweight songwriter beyond the Bee Gees, and for Streisand, it was a bold step into the new decade, proving she could adapt and stay relevant. The song remains a portrait of sophistication and warmth. 2, Slow Hand by Pointer Sisters.
As the midnight moon was drifting through.
But if you were into slower, more seductive tunes, then Slow Hand by the Pointer Sisters was perfect for you. It was a song that begged to be savored, letting you get lost in the cadence of their harmonized voices, and that's why it became a favorite for so many.
A man with a slow hand. I wanna love.
The lyrics spoke of patient love, the value of tenderness over haste, a message that hit home in a world that seemed to speed up by the day. On stations leaning into soul and romantic pop, Slow Hand was a staple. This track showed the Pointer Sisters' versatility. They dabbled in everything from funk to country, but here they hit a point of maturity that connected with a wider audience. For those who lived through that era, hearing Slow Hand could mean a moment of intimacy, a shared connection with a partner. It was an invitation to slow down and savor love at its own pace. 1, Upside Down by Diana Ross.
Upside down, boy, you turn me.
Did you think we'd wrap up without mentioning Diana Ross? In 1981, she was still shining bright with Upside Down. Though it dropped a year earlier, it kept ruling charts and dance floors worldwide. With its irresistible disco funk groove, you couldn't help but move to it.
Inside out and round and round.
Her collaboration with producers Nile Rodgers and Bernard Edwards from Chic gave Ross a fresh, modern sound that fit the early 80s perfectly. Upside Down was playful, bold, and showed a Diana in full command of her style and career. In our cities, the song played non-stop in discos, family parties, even on TV shows. Soon, Upside Down became the soundtrack to endless nights, fleeting romances, and youth that felt like it would never end.
Upside down, you turn me. You're giving love instinctively. Round and round.
A thrilling detail. With this track, Diana Ross solidified her status as the queen of disco, even as the genre faced criticism and started fading in the US. She proved disco could evolve, transform, and keep winning hearts. And that's the end of our journey. We'll leave you with a video featuring another list of classic songs if you want to keep reliving the nostalgia of those days. See you next time.